Welcome to Feats 901, soon to be Feetser. Today we're going to review the infamous Surly Front Rack 2.0. I recently purchased the rack from Tree Fort Bikes online. And the reason I purchased it from them was for three reasons. 1, no tax. 2, free shipping. And 3, price match guarantee. But now let's take a moment and look at the Surly Front Rack 2.0. As you can see, the rack comes nicely packaged and includes hardware for installation. We'll break that down in just a moment. Here, let me flip it over so we can take a look at the top. All right, let's take a closer look. Before we move on, I brought 3 measurement tools so we can get a better insight into the Surly front rack. Got my tape measure, got my micrometer, and got my scale. So 3 most important things. We're going to break it down and see what the Surly rack is made of. All right, let's unbox the rest of the Surly rack. Here's all the hardware you're going to need for installation. There's the rack. I will be installing this rack on a Surly Bridge Club. And something to note that the Surly Bridge Club does have a wider fork than other Surly bikes. I think there are a few others that use the same fork. And when I mocked this up originally, I noticed that the fit between the fork and the rack are pretty tight. So it'll be interesting to see how it installs when I make the installation video. All right, let's now get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's look at the hardware and see what we have to install the Surly rack with. So it comes with instructions. Here are all the nuts and bolts that you're going to need to install the rack. It looks like it probably comes with a few extra. Here are all the mounting brackets that come with it. Oh, and looks like the mounting plates as well. One of the things I was curious about was if it came with the Unicrown mount, and it looks like it does. So this is what you're going to need when you install it on the Surly Bridge Club or any other bike with a pretty wide spaced out fork. I think you're going to use that one, and then I believe this one, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out when I get ready to install it. All right, now the fun part. Let's take all the measurements. So the first thing I'm going to do is weigh the rack by itself, and it comes in at 2.5 pounds. Then I want to add the hardware that I'm going to use to mount the rack on the Surly Bridge Club. Should be those pieces, should be this, and then I believe all 4 of these. So let's throw those on the scale and see what we have. All right, so there we are at 3.15 pounds. So pretty hefty front bike rack. Let's take measurements of the rack from the top to the bottom, the length and the width. So we'll start from the bottom. And the rack measures at 18.25 inches to the base. And then if we go to the crown, 20 inches. And then the top measures in at just at 10.5 inches. And if we go to the middle, it measures 13, but then 14 if we go back to the top. And then across, the rack measures right at 7 inches. Finally, let's measure the tubing on the rack. The tubing on the Surly front rack 2.0 is 10 millimeters on the cross section. And I believe the rest of the rack will measure exactly the same. 10 millimeters. And then if we go down to here, 10 millimeters. So that gives you an idea of the Surly front rack and its durability. A few things to know about the Surly front rack. It is chromoly. It will also accommodate tires from 26 inches up to 29. And it is fully repairable. Also, you'll note that at the end of the rack, we've got these little rubber grommets, and I would probably recommend putting frame saver in there since it is a chromoly rack and not aluminum. All right. Thanks for watching my review of the Surly Front Rack 2.0. Next, we will review the Surly TV tray. See what that's all about. And then after that, I will do the installation videos where I install the rack and the TV tray. So stay tuned to that. I appreciate it. Thanks.